Hi, this is Graphically Alex coming at you with all things fat related. If that's something that interests you, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. Today, I wanted to cover the revenge body topic again because I feel like my mind is changing on it, at least at this phase of my journey. And I don't know why, but I have a different perspective on it. And I want to talk about it, and I feel like this video could be a good way to talk about it. So let's go ahead and watch.
One of the reasons why I want to lose weight and get skinny is because somebody close to me while on vacation, and we're not going to name names, but somebody close to me started making comments about my body and what I was eating. Yeah, and that hurt my feelings, and it's not a huge reason as to why I want to lose weight. I'm doing it for me, but it's a cherry on top. And one thing about me is that I love to win out of spite. I will win out of spite. It fuels me. If you know, you know. And this particular person was on a diet and couldn't stop talking about their weight loss journey. It is very annoying. Literally not me doing that on the internet. But no, this person was coming from a very judgmental place. And what we're not going to do is shame women for what they're eating and what they look like. That is so wrong. And we have enough of that in real life and on this app already. We do not need to add to the fire and shame women. But yeah, I just find it really funny because I just wonder, do they see something in me and they just think that if they bully me that I'll get skinny? That is so thoughtful of them. So nice. So yeah, I will succeed out of spite. And if you push me...
Okay, I have to say this. I think that this is a little bit too superficial for my taste. I like a deep revenge. I like something that was years in the making, something deeply calculating, I like a cold anger. I like a scorpionic cold anger, revenge, bod, which is different. This is kind of petty to me. I feel like my thoughts of it, especially being in maintenance, there is something that tickles my Scorpio rising about thinking of past people that lost me, particularly romantically. So people that I have dealt with in my romantic life that fumbled me, lost me. And I'm going to frame it that way. And there's something so juicy and tantalizing about building a revenge body to forever sting them. Forever. Which is a very weird way to put it because it's not like a hot anger revenge body. I don't think I've ever really supported that because I think it's too volatile. So I think my advice for this concept is don't make it fire, make it ice. That's my advice.
Beware. What's so funny is we're on the road to getting skinny. So who's laughing now?
This is going to be a wildly unpopular opinion I might get some hate for, but one thing about me is I love me a revenge body. Your boyfriend fucked up and you want to make him regret his existence? I promise you, I'm your girl. I'm the one you call. And it's probably not even for the reason you guys think, so hear me out. But my fitness journey kind of started as a revenge body. And I told myself I was going to make this motherfucker regret everything he's ever done to me. So I started hitting the gym and I started eating better.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. I know my perspectives have changed quite a bit. So I understand. Now, I need to say some caveats here before I go further. I don't think revenge body works for morbidly obese and higher. I think it's too stressful. It's too much. But I do think certainly mid-sized princess and vanity, there is an element there because you start to get healthier in those phases and you start, especially in vanity, and then you start to require I don't know how to describe it, but you want more of a challenge. You're ready for a challenge. It's like I said, I've been talking about, that Stairmaster for 20 minutes, 180 heart rate, pouring sweat on there. You want something like that. It gives you kind of a thrill within your body, which people don't think of it that way. But I try to frame exercise this way, especially for my brats, people that are bratty. I think a lot of us need a gym. We need to go. I think in general people need to go, but I think that type of personality, we do really well going to the gym because it helps to it's a very like healthy version of stimulation. Obviously you want it to be done. You don't want to do too much. You don't want to overtrain and whatever, but it's so hard to explain to somebody. Like I think about how I was when I was morbidly obese and the way your brain is, or even like super morbid, you just can't. It's like too much. It's too intense. It's too much to think about. Oftentimes you're trying to like quell your emotions. But I feel like in a vanity era, especially, it's different. You like a challenge, It's more of a physical challenge. It's about athleticism. And to a certain extent, although we're not incorporating the TR, which again, being able to separate it to where it's not so much about consumption, it's about muscle building, working out, this kind of stuff. I think it kind of works. It kind of eats, as Gen Z would say. And I've seen so much Gen Z content about revenge body lately. I feel like I'm being influenced by the youth. I feel like Auntie is learning some things. And I think I may agree.
I promised myself I wasn't going to give up on myself like I did the last few times I tried to lose weight. And once I actually realized, holy shit, I'm being consistent and I'm really going to the gym and I'm really eating better, my confidence fucking skyrocketed. And then I started seeing progress. And let me tell you that...
I want to say this too. From a spiritual perspective, most women are what would be considered a divine feminine within the spiritual circle, which basically means you tend to spend more time in higher level chakras. I'm very much that way. I'm a divine feminine myself, and I'm not a woman, so it doesn't always, you get it. We don't need to like get all, I hate disclaimers so much. The point is, there's something very healing, I think, about especially a lot of women or a lot of like feminine types of people to get in touch with that competitive part of themselves. And I mean it from like an athleticism perspective. Again, I understand my content. I need you to separate it from the TR. How I'm working out and all that, it doesn't have anything to do with my consumption whatsoever. So that at this point in my recovery, it's like completely separated because I'm in a maintenance phase. You know what I'm saying? I'm maintaining. It's more so about muscle building and this kind of stuff and challenging myself and creating that feeling of competitiveness, even sexually, getting into that sacral chakra, thinking about myself more as a sexual being. I think it's balancing, and kind of thinking about that sexual influence I had on those guys that fumbled me, and how like that's kind of like that power. There's like a power in that. And I understand that this is like really weird and esoteric, and I understand that the culture hates it. I think especially American culture absolutely hates this idea, but is it so wrong to be in touch with your inner power in that way? Your inner sexual power as a feminine person? And I would say no. I think that it's actually balancing. And there's a big debate about like looks maxing and all this stuff. And I've just been thinking about it so much and why I think it disproportionately helps women. And I think some of it is societal for sure, but it's also like when you're dating men, how you look is like a part of, like, it's very sacred in a way. So it's like, and also too, spiritually speaking, getting in touch with that competitive side is balancing and healing for a lot of women too. So it's just interesting because I think about it like both ways, because I understand the societal element of it, but I also understand the spiritual side too. So it's like I'm having this weird like shift in my beliefs about it. A lot of people feel like it's super petty, but for me, I don't find it to be petty. I don't. It's that just, I don't know. There's something about that. There's something about that idea of like, you fumbled me and you will never have me at my best. And like I said, it's cold. It's salty. But it's delicious. You know? It's just interesting. Because I think too, a lot of times when people talk about revenge body, there's a lot of people that are like, they don't care. It doesn't matter. It's this, it's that. And to me, it's like, I feel like people that feel that way, they don't understand, like, they don't understand that it happens regardless. Even if let's say I didn't want to think about that at all. I am a relatively public person in the sense that I put my activism out there. So somebody from my past could look and see very easily. So it will likely happen. So do I take that and I think about it weirdly or try to block it out or whatever? Or do I take that and I use it? Because people talk, people say things change, people find out, especially in today's society. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like you have to at least make peace with this or use it or something. I'm still formulating my thoughts. I am. I feel like this is like a next era concept. So please bear with me. I'd also love to know your thoughts on this. I'd love to know your thoughts.
That's where the game changed for me. After just a couple weeks, I moved out of a place of self-love and started doing it because I loved myself enough to keep going. And a lot of other people might tell you that you're doing it for the wrong reasons and you should want to change your life for yourself. But I'm telling you right now, I don't give a fuck why you want to change your life for the better. Even if it's coming from a place of self-hate at first, I understand because I've been there. I know how good.
I don't agree with self-hate. I feel like it should be self-awareness. Being aware of your own power. And using it responsibly, you know, because a lot of people will say like, oh my gosh, you should never think about your ex or you should never think about something like that because they're just trash and whatever. And maybe in some cases that's true. I understand the argument. But for me, it's like, I don't have any hatred towards those in my past. I don't. It's kind of like I respect it as the past. But I can't help but enjoy that sting that I feel coming through and that I see coming in the future. I can't help but enjoy it. And I understand that people are so like, it's kind of taboo to feel that way. But to me, it's like, is it is it making it up in your head or is it just acknowledging the reality? Because it's like, when did we, as especially feminine people, when did we collectively decide to just lose touch with our bodies? You know? Especially within like the fat acceptance sphere, it's so commonly women. When did that become normal? Because it wasn't always that way. I know it wasn't. And it's like, it needs to stop, because I feel like you kind of get your self-esteem from the roots, you know, from figuratively and sometimes literally having your feet firmly planted on the ground and kind of feeling that connection to the body. And it's like, I wonder why that was so taboo. And again, there is this idea, I know, especially with women, it's like if she knows that she's sexy, then she's evil or something. And it's like, I don't agree that it should be feared, or, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm having some kind of an awakening. I don't know. Maybe it's an awakening of my own, you know, because I feel like maybe I'm speaking for myself, but I also see it in a lot of, like I said, feminine people, where it's like, maybe I feared my own sexual power within the TR, and it's like, it's time to let that go, or it's time to just exist or live in awareness of it, and understanding it, and at times wielding it, but also at times just accepting it and understanding, you know, and respecting it. It's kind of like a form of respecting yourself. It's respecting that power that you have. I don't know. And even because it's kind of like this, it's like people in the past and we have impacted each other. Does me acting like that didn't happen make it better, or does me accepting that it has happened and understanding that I have sway too, I have power too, isn't that also accepting reality too, you know? I don't know. I keep saying I don't know, but it's like my brain is like, I feel like my mind is opening up in a way at this point.
Good you're going to feel when you start keeping those promises you make to yourself. And I know that once you start seeing progress, eventually you're going to start doing it for you, and it's going to be from a place of self-love. I'm proud of you for wanting to change your life, whatever the motivation may be.
Seeing somebody you don't like and being hotter and skinnier than the last time you saw them is the best feeling, because whatever happened aside, I know I'm walking by looking hot AF, a total bombshell. And not to say anything about them, they're just looking the same. And it just feels so good to be that bitch, especially when you know somebody doesn't like you, but you're still just hot as hell. Like, okay. Like,
I think there is something too about the idea of like, there's something powerful in having changed for the better and having leveled up in a way. There is, and again, I understand any kind of competition, it has to be separated from the TR. Like I keep saying that because it's very important. I think this is kind of like advanced recovery, or it's kind of like someone that never had that, basically. Because I feel like, you know, competition is not always bad. You know what I mean? It's not always good either. I think it can be too much at times. But again, it's like if you're talking about somebody that doesn't like you, or that maybe you're enemies with, you know? Am I just evil? Because it's like, wow. Like, it can be toxic if you're like that with literally everybody, for sure. But it's like, you know, I don't know. Just questions.
Say what you want, do what you want, but I'm still a badass bitch. Sorry.
Rumor has it you want to build that revenge body, and I'm your girl that's going to tell you how you're going to do it. We're gonna start off with sleep. We are going to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep every single night. Then we are going to take our ideal body weight and then we're gonna consume it in protein, okay? So let's say your ideal weight is 150 pounds, you're gonna consume 150 grams of protein. Then we're gonna lift weights and hit Pilates about 3 to 5 times per week, okay? I will program everything out for you. All you have to do is show up. We're gonna go for a 30-minute walk to try to get in 7,000 to 10,000 steps every single day. And we are going to cut out anything that feels toxic, whether it's a person, multiple people, a place, thing, whatever. Cut it out if it's not doing you good. And we're just gonna repeat this. And that is how you are going to build your revenge body.
Get your leg back in the gym. If somebody hurt you, upset you.
I think I don't know. What if I like toxicity? No, I'm just kidding. That's terrible. No, I'm formulating my opinions on this. I think that this concept is something that can be leveraged within maintenance and within a recomp era. And I'm formulating. This is very early. Okay. This is kind of a next era concept. I'm thinking about it. Stuff is cooking inside my brain. I'm figuring it out.
Did you wrong at work? Your mother-in-law is getting on your nerves. Your baby brother ate the last bagel. Okay, go to the gym. Go for a walk. Okay, get your lick back by pouring into you. All right? Don't be trying to go to jail for busting somebody's windows out their car. Okay? That's not the move, baby. That's not the move. A revenge body.
I so agree. Like, there is something so powerful about the act of self-care of, like, healthy exercise. And it can be a very healthy start of appropriate boundaries as well. I think that it's so, I don't know, I'm just so about it, and it's so crazy because I swear, like, 2014 Alex could never. 2014 Alex would have been like, what? But it's like, I feel like that heals. It's like, that's a way of healing your relationship with exercise too, or your thoughts about exercise. It's like, it is self-care. It's a boundary. It's this, it's that. It's me prioritizing myself for that time. And I do think that does a lot for a person. Obviously, I feel like I have to say constantly things can go too far, but I feel like we kind of understand that, and I think collectively as a society, most people, it's not going too far. Let's be real about it.
He is the best body. I don't care. Argue with your granny. I'm gonna tell you my formula. You get in the gym for revenge, right? Let's keep it 100, okay? And then the outcome is you really like what you created. You love what you created. You spent time alone. Self-love. You've been loving on yourself. Now that revenge body is a self-love body, okay? End of discussion, period. Love you, bye.
I don't know who needed this.
Well, I think too, if done correctly, it's a very good way to channel anger. Because, again, anger is not a bad thing. It's like, in your building, I would consider it like a process of building, which I think is healthy. I really do. And also, it kind of calms you down. Like, I'm getting to a point now, finally, where, like, exercise calms me down. Or, like, I'm starting to feel better after working out. And I'm starting to feel good after working out and that kind of stuff. Whereas before, like, especially when I was downsizing, it was tough after a workout. I feel, like, invigorated after the Stairmaster. The program I'm doing, it doesn't require me to do it tomorrow, but I think I'm going to, because it does require like 20 minutes of cardio. And I think I'm going to do it again because there's something about just like putting on some amazing music, or, for me, it's just gay music, let's be honest. But it's like you put it on and it's like, oh my gosh, I love this. And it comes from a place of being healthier. Like, I need people who are bigger to understand that, because it's like, it hurts a little bit, but it doesn't hurt like it does when you're big. It just doesn't. So I'm trying to bridge a gap there. But I think that this is something that we can leverage in maintenance. I'm trying to figure it out.
This secret information on how to get a skinny waist and a fat ass, but I come very in gifts. Because if you wanted your revenge body for 2025, this is all you need to know. It's really not that complicated. Calorie deficit, 10K steps a day at minimum, weight training 3 to 5 times a week, eating whole foods while in your deficit, none of that processed shit, you want your skin to be glowy too, 2 to 3 liters of water a day, taking your vitamins and loving yourself so deeply. Like, this is the number one thing. Loving yourself so deeply that you can radiate from the inside out, because if you don't love yourself and you've lost the weight, you're still going to hate yourself from the inside. So it's not going to matter because the confidence isn't there.
I've literally been doing some meditations on like self-love lately, or just like complete, like, I think there's something to that. I think especially within the TR, or like within that recovery, they're refusing to hate yourself at all. And again, that doesn't mean we don't improve. That doesn't mean any of that. But it means like just that deep spiritual, like disjointed feeling, and just release, you know? And I feel like I did that last night. And it's like, I feel different. I don't know. Something's going on.
So you need to focus on loving yourself and all the other physical steps. And I promise you, like, if you want proof, I can give it to you. But I promise you, you will be the sexiest version of you for 2025. No questions asked.
I'm going to tell you why you should lose weight or glow up. You don't have to listen to me if you don't want. Just keep scrolling. Ow. Okay, just keep scrolling if you want. But I was bullied, like, not that bad, but girls would make fun of me because girls are mean. Okay, so I get made fun of. And guess where I am now? I'm 30 plus pounds down. I have lost weight. They came back from college and gained weight. They're no longer cute. They're no longer, like, hot shit that they thought they were. So this is your sign. Lose weight if you want to prove, you know, the bullies, the haters, whatever. Lose weight, prove them wrong. Because
I mean, the thing is, like, it is, I don't know. It is like, it's body based. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole process, especially like athleticism, lifting, getting to the gym, doing this stuff, it's like, it is a body-based practice. And it's like athletic competition or that kind of stuff, it's also body-based. Like, again, I suggest separating it from consumption. So like separating the two completely, because I don't, like, when I choose my plans for the day, I don't think about any kind of revenge or anything. But when I'm at the gym, I can't say it's not useful. I can't say it doesn't feel good. I can't say it's not motivating. So I guess my preemptive thoughts is to separate it completely from consumption. Because you always, in my opinion, I think it's best to look at what you're taking in and try to come at it from a place of love or a place of care and that kind of stuff. And fuel and that kind of thing. I think that that's good to do. You know, maybe more gentle, I would say, on that end of it. But like, as far as like gym, exercise, etc., especially if you're healthier, you can handle like a little bit more of an athletic push. I feel like it's a good outlet. I really do. I really, really do.
honestly, now they're probably going to be like, oh my God, like, how'd you do it? And I'm going to say, no. I'm going to say, you know what I mean? Like, no, okay? Respectfully. So, anyways, yeah, this is your sign to lose the weight, Prove them wrong. You're gonna be hotter. You're gonna be better. You didn't peak in high school. That's amazing.
Look at this hair.
Okay.
Ugh.
So I think I'm going to leave it here because I feel like I've covered enough and I've said enough of what I wanted to say. It's a very weird video. I get it. I get that I'm weird right now. But this is super, super early conceptually, and I feel like this is something that is useful in maintenance. But I will be probably talking about it more next era because it's very on my mind, or it's formulating. It's very early. So I will talk to you guys again soon. I will be talking to my members tomorrow. I'll be back Sunday. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.